And when Beckett and Soso and Scotch and those people used to come down there, they always wanted to say, oh, them up there and they have making money. It's a myopic view that we had, but it's a lot to do with the business of music and the absence of the knowledge from the general, constituency of artists about how to make music. The DJ 20, Poser, Gideon James, Icon, Fire and Press, Winston Soso, Beckett. To me, each one of them shared a part of my growth and my inspiration. So I mean, to say that I have one person that would have inspired me would not be a fair thing.
A woman tell me, he say, oh God, that damn boy, the rude, eh? She don't know me singing song at the market, man. He said, but hey, what you say there? But you want poor wine in an old bottle. Okay, I remember even Farmer Nap, he said, if the Caribbean had followed what had happened with Kevin Little and what we did with his music, we would be much further now. Once we sent it to Trinidad and Barbados and those places, I started getting calls from Virgin Records, and from Sony Records, and from Atlantic Records right away. I keep telling me, boy, Lively, buy half bottle of Shanram, buy half bottle of Sting, and go chase some with the beer. I said, wait, boy, you know that I'm tune.
We're gonna ask Lively. Hey, Lively, welcome to Vincy Internet Radio via Zoom. How are you, my man?
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine as the weather.
In Canada, in Ottawa, it's raining right about now. Hey, Adrian.
Okay.
Welcome to Vincy Internet Radio.
Thank you very much for having me to this afternoon.
You're welcome, my friend. We'll start with Lively first. Lively, tell us a little bit about Lively so people who do not know Lively.
Well, Lively is a very, very, very lively man. I've been in the soca business for quite a number of years. From I think it's 2006, and then I broke out in 2007. I reached got second for Road March and second for Soca Monarch. But I've been around, and most of the times I come Canada. I'm not that big as an international artist, but I'm known out there. So I'm just living in Brooklyn for right now, and then I'm still doing stuff towards the carnival that's coming up. So I'm just a humble person.
Adrian, tell us a little bit about Adrian who doesn't know Adrian Bailey.
Oh, wow. Well, my name is Adrian Bailey. I come from Mespo originally. I've been in the music business. I started with Black Sand as a leader of Black Sand for a number of years. And then I started my own recording studio in 98, I think. And then I started Hot Sand when we broke away from Black Sand. And I've been in the recording studio and performing internationally, playing for Soca Monarch, etc. I've composed, produced 5 Soca Monarch titles, plus a number of second places and third places. Raga Soca, the Kevin Little Turn Me On was a production of mine, Poor People song. You can name a number of songs in the 2000s that I've been a part of. I did a compilation called Vincy Jams that, profiled lots of the music of Otis and Vince and the Grenadines, including Lively and many other artists, new and upcoming artists. And I'm still here doing the same thing, I moved to New York in 2012, and I've been here ever since and doing my thing and, spreading my wings into different genres and different, modes of music and life. So that's about me.
All right, I want to give a shout out to all our Facebook listeners, Radio Land, wherever you may be. Good night or good evening or good afternoon, wherever in the world you may be. I'm very privileged right now to have the pleasure of welcome, this Vincy Soca artist, Edison Lively McDowell. Lively.
Yeah.
Like you say in St. Vincent, and Adrian Bailey, Adrian, we put a maestro in front of your title right now because you've been around and been doing, a lot of good works with not only Vincy artists, but, international artists. So like we say in Vincy, gentlemen, I don't want to say big up yourself because you guys are big already. So large up yourself, size up yourself.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Man. Yeah, so Lively, and this is kind of different because I'm gonna have to sometime ask both of you the same question. Just give us
that's why we're here.
Yeah, just give us a background how you started in the soca business. When the singing started, and when you became Lively.
Well, I was always Lively because I got that name from birth. So, but that was always there. But one day, we have these kind of little holes that we hang out up here and things. So this guy was telling me about his mother who went to mourn up in my village by a special point up there. So I borrowed a keyboard from a guy. And the rhythm was right there. So I put it 2 and 2 together. It took me like one evening to write the whole song because I'm a Baptist myself.
So give us for those of us who don't know, give us a background of what village you're from. And
well, I'm up from well, everybody know that Lively is from St. Vincent already, but I'm from Chapman's. Well, I usually tell people that I'm from Chapman's, Lowman's, Diamonds, Greg's. I cover the whole Larders, the whole area. Because if I'm to say I'm from Chapman's, they're gonna say that, oh no, he born in Lowman's, but he grew up in Chapman's.
Everybody want to claim you.
Yeah, everybody want to claim me. And I went to Emmanuel High School, came back, I went to North Union. So everybody knows me. So it's like I went home for Christmas. And everybody I tried to introduce myself to, they said, I know you're on Facebook.
Yeah, man, everybody be following Lively because Lively has his live in the morning.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of your social media too, man. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you were saying when you how you come on with the name and the song.
Yeah. But my brother now, when I was born, my brother saw me and went and told my auntie, Mommy have a Lively baby. So from there on, I grew up with that name. But in America here now, I got many different names. So according to who call out to me, I know where they get my name from, that name from.
But Lively fit you, man. Lively fit you,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks.
It didn't fit you. Because one time I saw you on stage and you were performing that same song there. Hey, take that. People think you're drinking is thick, but you're drinking.
Yeah, I love that song.
That song is a bad song.
Thank you.
It's a bad song, especially when they see you perform it. You
gotta put yourself into it, man. I always try to give people 100%, 110. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's how the thing go, So Mr. Adrian Bailey, the name has been beaten around a long time, and unless you never went to see Black Sun or Hot Sun perform, you won't really know who this Adrian Bailey is, So it's a pleasure to meet you virtually, Sir Adrian Bailey. I give you the title.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah, man. Tell us, you've been contributing a lot to the music industry, well respected by every artist that I know who have worked with you or who have came in close contact with you. The name Adrian Bailey, well respected. So tell us how you started out, in producing business now.
Well, that's a long story, but let me start.
Give us a short version.
When I started, I came back from university in 1990 studying business administration, and Dougie the Freitas, my friend, had contacted me because he wanted me to be a part of a band. So I said, when I come back, you could think about it. And I came back and we started Black Sand. Well, I joined Black Sand. And my recording, my origin started at BDS Studios in St. Vincent, where he had the only first studio out of St. Vincent was really BDS Studios, where he had his own big recording tape machine and a massive board and stuff like that. And that, I remember nights I used to be going to work at 7 o'clock, but I leave the studio at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because I was there whole night doing that. And I fell in love with recording then, and continue to thrive on it, doing it for many years, and then until the computers came into technology changed and we started to have computers, the advent of computer technology, and I started my own little mini studio then, and it just took off from there because everyone started coming to me to do their music, and I felt that then I had a gift because I was able to do so much music, and many, not much of them, if any, sound alike, and that's trust me, that for the number of songs that I've done over the years. So since then, and then I started playing with there was Black Sand, toured internationally, and then there was Soca Monarch. And then in 2001 and 2000, I think I started the Raga Soca competition. And in that competition were a number of songs that became really classics over the years, which included Turn Me On, which is an international hit, which is one I produced, Poor People's Song. A number of hits came out. I've worked with the likes of the Skinny Fabulouses, Luthers, Allergy, James P., everybody you could think about in the music industry out there now, that has been around, we have worked together, and it's been a blessing, and respect is earned when respect is given. I respect them for what they do, and they respect me because we have a mutual respect. And I think that's what the music industry needs. Gentle people who serious about what they're doing, and say, hey, we want to do something that makes a difference to the rest of the world and the rest of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Something that can impact and stay there for a while.
Yeah, man. So I must say again, man, thanks for the contribution that you have made, and the one that you're making. And
thank you.
We need, we know we have a lot of people like you, and we need, the good people like you who are pushing the music forward. So if I actually go back over to Lively now, because Lively is getting away, you have to music.
I'm here, man.
Yeah, man. So tell me, like, because I heard that you started singing from a small age, but you're saying that you started around in the 2000s?
No, well, I grew up in the church, so therefore I used to play guitar in church and all this stuff, but I couldn't get the chance to run away and sing no soca and no calypso. One time I got drunk. My father gave me some white house on a Christmas, and I got drunk, and that's when I know I really could start singing calypso. I started singing, where you find Isabel McDowell? And you know where I get for that, right?
Yeah, man, good beating.
But at the same time, my father came home and he said, what are you beating the boy for? You see the boy having a nice. So I kind of get away still. Yeah, but it's always in me, man. The singing thing. And my mother was a singer too. She'll always be singing. And she just grows up playing guitar and singing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm the only one that took this part. So I just made it happen.
Yeah, man, because when people hear you drinking and they don't hear the rest of the songs, they don't actually realize that Lively is a man who holds his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you hold your own. You hold your own on the music string,
Yeah. Right now I have I'm doing little things at I got a mini recording studio at my house because I have a different flavor music to everybody. I don't know, a different feel to music, and the music that I want. I guess the producers don't give it to me, so I have to start do something for myself. So right now I'm here with Adrian Bailey. That's my buddy. So when I do something, I come by him and I finish it up. Yeah, so I'm still a lot of people think that I'm out of the singing business, but I'm still in.
Well, yeah, before SIP comes in. Well, COVID shut down everybody, so
Yeah.
Years, have been really challenging.
Yeah, it's been tight.
Yeah. And it's just, for us to keep, artists.
Keep the culture going, man, and everything going, yeah.
Yeah. So because what I'm saying is when you came out with You Drinking, when you really look at that song now, everybody just gravitated towards it, and then a whole heap of rum song came out after too,
Oh boy. And you know what, and they don't talk about the first song, they don't talk about my song. I listen to a lot of DJs and they rate everybody else, and after that it was like rum after rum. Yeah. I couldn't even slip in a rum. I couldn't get in another song.
Yeah, but it looked like that was your style, and then like I tell you, for me, take that and the Woman in the Old Bottle. Those are my two. Yeah, those are my two favorite ones. Because if you listen to those songs, it's real lyrics in them.
Yeah, you see, even though I tell the younger artists, even though they're singing something that's humorous or whatever it is, make it that something could relate to it.
True.
That somebody could relate to it. They say, boy, that is, whatever it is, it had to be either a kicksy thing, a joke or something, that somebody could feel good. You don't just go in the studio and just sing because you could sing.
True.
You still would feel like most artists just go, some artists, I don't say most artists, some artists go in the studio and they figure because it's singing, you don't got to sing. No, you got to put some feelings into it.
Yeah,
to make the people gravitate to your music. Because here's something. When you make a music, you go in the studio and say, buy some good, buy some. When you go there and give the people say, nah, we didn't take it that way. Can do.
True, because when I listen, I love music, all kind of music. And when I listen to music, I listen to the lyrics. And then I listen to the beat. And then I kind of pay attention to how the artist write the rhythm,
Yeah. You have to be able to do this.
That's for me. I'm not no music specialist, but it's in me with music.
Yeah.
I look at, the way the artist could deliver the rhythm,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Sip jump in and then we'll take it up after.
Listen to an interview with Lively along with Adrian Bailey. Lively.
Yeah, good day.
Welcome back to Vincy Internet Radio, my friend.
Yeah, nice seeing you, man.
Tell me a little bit about how you style, how you write your song. Do you have a rhythm first, or do you go into the studio and just get a rhythm and just rhyme to the rhythm, or you just put lyrics down on paper? And how do you construct a song?
My thing is that if you notice, you never hear me and nobody read him. You never heard me and nobody else read him. My style of writing and because most of my songs that I kind of pre-arrange them because I have my little gift from God that I could play a little keyboard and guitar. So I kind of I might get the idea for a song. And the simplest thing to do is to take out the phone and record because you need the melody. The melody plays a very, very, very fine part in bringing out a song. Even in arranging a song. If you don't have the right melody, then it could be dead. But once you get the melody and you get, usually I just start just the first line I read. And then sometimes some songs fight you, because you think you have it sometime and in the middle you're like space out. And you got to go until you catch it. Yeah, but for me, I just write. There's a lot of songs that come to my mind, but with the way these days that the young artists are doing it, I'm not feeling comfortable to do it that way because they take any little stupid thing and turn it into a song. That's not me. If I'm going to write something, it got to be something that somebody could say, refer something to somehow or the other. You know what I mean? Compare it to something, you get a feeling out of it, whatever it is.
So you look for a storyline after you put your lyrics down?
Well, while I'm writing, I look for story lines because I have to write the song. I write all my songs myself. So while I'm writing, but at the same time, because I'm in my own studio and I got my own feel, so sometimes it becomes easy. Because I'm right there and I could arrange my music like how I want it. Because many times, but many times I leave out with it, like I start making a beat. Bop, 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 bop. And then I end up writing a totally different thing that sometimes things just come to me because it comes natural after a while. So sometimes I have to just stay away from saying, oh, I'm going to make a new tune. Because I might start a new beat now, and then you find me going on the road with something different, way that just tipping, and I forgot what it was. Even me sometimes I forgot what I was going to sing. And my partner, could tell you about that.
This one is for Adrian. Adrian, in your days of growing up, how do you get into keyboard playing? What interests you to keyboards?
Well, my genesis of music started when I was like 5. My father, actually about 4. My father they bought me a mouth organ and I started playing it, and then a quattro, and I started playing it. And my father was, my family is kind of musical. And so then he bought me a little guitar and I started playing it, and it was like wow. Then when I was 8, I think my uncle bought me an accordion and for Christmas. And by the evening, because we normally go to my grandparents' house on Saturday evening and Boxing Day. And by the evening of Christmas, I was playing all the Christmas songs on the accordion. And then he said, you know what, I'm going to get you a piano. So my uncle bought me a piano and I started from there. And I started playing. I played in church since I was 7. All right, and I played the organ first. I usually play the guitar and then the organ and the piano, and so that's my genesis from where music came. I came from that, and then when I was in my teens, we started a little neoclassical group called Almo that we included violins and flutes and guitars, acoustic guitars and double bass, that kind of a feel. And we did shows at Peterborough Hall, so that's my foundation in terms of the music. And learning. My cousins bought me a guitar and taught me how to play classical guitar and read music and that kind of stuff. So that's where I came from in terms of my music. And quite naturally, it seems to have been flourishing. So it just came out.
Yeah.
It just came out. Yeah. So I hope that answered the question.
You joined Black Sand,
Mm-hmm.
and Black Sand did a lot of work because I remember you might remember me, but I used to work at Aquatic Club. You remember
I remember you. Yep.
Yes. I remember Black Sand coming there and really taking over the place sometimes. So
we had some great times there. Mm-hmm. Great times. I remember for one time we had we traveled for New Year's. We came to Montreal for the New Year's a New Year's party the Friday, and New Year's Eve we had to get back in Simonton to play in Simonton Aquatic Saturday. So we had to do Friday and fly at 4:00 the next morning from Montreal to where we were going, Barbados, and then take a flight over. We got into Simonton about 6:00 and had to go play that night straight in Aquatic. But Aquatic was our lunch, our ground. We could not have a weekend that Black Sun along with other bands and artists playing at Aquatic Club and packed every night. Packed. We really had a great time in those days.
The Christmas season at Aquatic Club was a big thing there.
Oh yeah. We had some great times. And then from there we would go to Georgetown and Spotlight Stadium. And then we go down to Didip's hideout in Leeward. and all the way down to Rose. A lot of travel. And one of the things that Black Sun did and the music, my formation, that would have helped me was working with Onto Calypso Tent, because we worked with them for a couple of years. Well, and we had this in Onto Tent that we traveled length and breadth of Simmons and the Grenadines performing Calypso. And it really helped Calypso at that time, because at least person got a chance to hear the Calypsos, and you know, we were helping to arrange them, because sometimes, most of the times, the guys come into the thing with not even a good melody, and the band now would have to create the entire music and the arrangement and play it for them. And we only used to do that within the space of 2 weeks, you know, and get everything together and go out and do a show. It was a great time. It was a great time to learn music and to learn and to become creative. I think that's what, you know, kind of pushed me to become creative on the spur on the moment, and trying to make things always different, trying to find a way of making it sound different. And every song that we do sound different, you know.
That brings me to my next point with the bands in St. Vincent and the Grenadine. In those days, we had a lot of bands. Now, the bands seem to be gone out of St. Vincent and the Grenadine. What do you think is the reason for that?
Well, one, economics is a factor, because it's not easy for smaller clubs, and because we don't have the major clubs anymore, like the Aquatics and those places, those kind of got shut down. And so the whomever, the patrons, the producers of the shows really don't find, you know, enough money coming back to be able to pay for a band to deal with that. So that then the bands started doing, and you had to be really good to be able to do that. Black Sun, Hot Sun, we carried it on, but it was even more challenged, because the DJs now, there were so many DJs coming up, the advent of DJs, everybody was a DJ. And so you found that you had to compete against a DJ who was charging $400-500, and a band charging minimum $1,500, all right, to play at a particular club. Then you have to deal with the sound system and all of that stuff, you know. So it takes a lot out, and take a big investment to be able to do that. And if that has to happen, it has to be a major show. So that's where the challenge is. And we don't have the bodies, we don't have anything else outside of Carnival that generates that kind of show. We used to do with High Roon, we used to do a High Roon road show and go around the country and go in all the sports areas, you know, the football fields and stuff, and do some things like that. But then that kind of dwindled out, you know. So a lot of money has to go into keeping it going. But you know, it's a challenge, and to me, it has caused the music to devolve, to erode. I don't think that it is what it used to be in terms of the caliber of creativity that we used to have then. I don't hear that, and I find we trying to do so many rhythms because that's all we can do. And the young guys trying. I mean, I try with some of them too, because I collaborate with different young producers in St. Vincent and regionally, and we try and help them to form something that's different, and they're very receptive. But because they don't have that exposure to bands and stuff like that, they seem, you know, they kind of fall into what they hear on the radio. So if they hear something from Trinidad, they try to follow it. Or they hear something from Grenada, they try to follow it. And that's how their music has been coming out. So we have really kind of lost an identity that we had in our music, from the Becketts and the Sosos and the Scotchers and the Frankie McIntoshes and the Livelies, and you understand, the Black Sands, the Touches and Resurrection. I could name the bands, Exodus, that really had a creative element that was unique to them. And we're not getting that now. Everybody trying to sound the same, you know, and that's not helping the music. That's my position.
On that point now, there are some young artists. Do you think that the young artists are really projecting in the right direction, especially when it comes to the music, maybe the beats, or do you think that they're channeling in the right direction?
Well, I wouldn't say that they're not channeling in the right direction. I think that they are misguided by the fact that they're simply looking outwards and not looking inwards. In other words, Beckett used to always claim that he will come to Simonson to write his songs. And I believe that Simonson has something special. Okay, and if you use what you see and what you learn in Simmons and make your songs from that, including the music, not just the lyric, the music. There's a lot to be said about how we create music, right? I know for a fact that there are many people coming from Venezuela and those and Trinidad coming up to listen to our music and to take it back down. No, that's no longer, and to play it back in their style and send it back up to us. Right? No, that's no longer the case. We are begging them for music and we taking from them as against them taking from us. But we have a creative spirit, that an element that we're not channeling enough right now. And I think it can happen again, but I just feel that that's where our challenge is now. The younger artists, and then the lyrical content of some of them is not it doesn't leave anything to be thought about. Everything is just out in the open, and there's no creativity about writing anymore. Yes. So like you could tell you more about that.
Frankly, I guess what these young people is they're being fooled by the DJs and the disc jockeys on the radio station as far. I was even thinking about that yesterday, because they're coming out and they're gonna sing some kind of song that is way things that we couldn't sing back in the days. And they did, yeah, boy, yeah, bang, bang. And then, we come again. And he got be 100 of them on that one, that one track. It'll be 100 of them on that rhythm. And the DJs, but they're not getting nowhere because they're not singing nothing to get out of St. Vincent. It's not going to become international because it's only we in St. Vincent. But this is one thing I wish these young folks can get to be more creative in the writing and the way they sing these songs. Because they want to hear one rhythm. And it's one thing, I don't know, I'm trying to be different. Well, I'm always different because my song, I'm always song different. Yes. I always try to be more creative than to be following whatever I hear around, just jumping behind. You will never catch yourself. And I always try to be me. I don't try to be skinny fabulous, James E. Now, nobody. I have to be. And that's one thing I want to put to those young artists that come. Be yourself. Don't try to be lively. Don't try to be anybody else. Be yourself. Let people feel you. And if they accept you, then you're going to get somewhere. But if you want to be skinny, when every time they hear, they're going to say they hear skinny fabulous. They're not going to hear you. Yeah. It's just like when you hear Beckett, you could say, boy, that's a Beckett. That's a Susu. That's a Scorcher. But they I don't know. They're seeing a different light anyway. So, like an old man like me and Adrian, and Adrian, you want to be called old?
What are you trying to do?
But guys like they don't want, we come like second to none to them because they want to jump into this beat and they I don't know.
But unfortunately, I don't particularly share that one because some of them maybe, but I have had quite a lot of them who have come to me and asking me for advice and help with certain things, want to work with me to do different things. But and it's a good thing to hear that they want to do it. But sometimes maybe they want to do it, but they don't want to accept it.
That majority of them. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them is like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And then the song play for 2 times on the radio, and that's it.
And that's our problem.
And that's our problem. And then there's some,
because we're making festivals.
There's some what is DJs out there who they like to pong off Trini music, pong off Beja music, Lucia music. Their own boy come like you're preaching the gospel. The Bible says you can preach the gospel in your village. Just like that. And they would not touch you. So I know the young guys out there already make the music that they want to hear. Bam, 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 today, tomorrow, it's gone. So I want to encourage them to try and write music and bring some good lyrics so that it could be international, that they could reach the international audience. You know what I mean?
But
because
I want to make one point, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
If you could remember, you could listen back, you could remember songs and the names of songs.
Yeah.
Over the years. that were created in the 90s, 2000s. You could remember these songs, right? Can you remember these songs that were made last year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago from the younger generation? Yeah. Because the songs don't have any sort of sometimes anything to hold, element to hold you there, you know. So that's my challenge to them, that we need to create music that can last, because music is not just about a festival. Music is for life, you know. If we could create a song that could make you, I'm saying this now, I make money from Turn Me On every day. Okay, I make money from other songs that I copyrighted and put out there every day. Okay, why can't other ones do that? They can't get it because they're only trying to make something for a festival and trying to get into soca. When it's done. Raga soca and soca mark is the only thing. That's so they make festival music, and then the music can't go anywhere else. That can't work. Can't work. As an artist, you can't think that is your only way of making a living, because music has to be, especially now with this whole generation of internet, where the platform is level. We have everything that you could sell the music internationally and try and market yourself. That's the way to go. You have to. If you don't, then you become a one-hit wonder and you just go down the road. That's it.
That's the problem I have with some of our artists, because there are lots of artists you can go on the internet and find a lot of information about them. I try a lot of our artists and there's no information, no bio, nothing. You see, artists, they just come and they make a song, they put it out there and they believe it should take off. Sometimes you invite them to sell their story to the other people, you know, and it's like they're pulling back. I don't know if they are mic shy or if they are camera shy, but they are not selling themselves. And I think, as you guys say, our artists need to put quality music out there and learn to sell themselves.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
In case you just join us, we're talking to Soca-Adrian Lively and my studio producer, Adrian Bailey. Adrian, if I have to start with you, right? Producers don't really get the recognition that they deserve whenever a song comes out, because, like, I guess before today, a lot of people didn't know that, you know, you're the man who put in the hard work. Well, of course, Kevin put in his part, but, you know, you're the producer. Let's just say bluntly, you're the producer for Turn Me On, right? So I'm gonna just say, read out some of your accolades a little bit here as a producer. Soca Monarch, you know, you're of course a producer for Soca Monarch, 1998, 2000, 2001, 2004, and probably, you know, if you added on to that, but this is what I found out.
2007, I think.
2007, exactly. Road March 2004, 2005, 2007. Raga Soca Monarch 2001, 2004. OECS Soca Monarch 2005. National Calypso Monarch 2006, as well as numerous second and third places. And I'm sure you have, you know, a couple more first places that thing. So you went on, like, from Black Sun to Hot Sun, and then you form Magnum Music.
Right.
And in that, you also said, because I'm going to talk a little bit here, right? Because I just need people to understand where I'm coming from. In the past, it has been said that if, let's say, like local, like Vincy artists, when they really want to go a little bit mainstream, more regional, you have to go through Trinidad and Tobago. But it has been said that Kevin Little opened the door that, you know, now Vincy artists can go straight. You don't even need to go through Trinidad. And guys like you who have worked on Turn Me On, who is the producer of Turn Me On, and you also said, if I have to quote, that that would carve the way for our new kind of music. Let me say the exact thing here. Yeah, that would carve Caribbean music. Like Turn Me On would carve Caribbean music. And, you know, that's why I have to call you a maestro, because, you know, you have done it with Turn Me On, pushing it, you know, way beyond North American boundaries. I think in some Dutch places it also hit gold and whatever. Like you say, you still eat the food from it.
In those places, Israel, in those areas, it's a lot all over the world. It was crazy.
True.
I couldn't believe it myself when it happened, but it did.
Right.
You know,
I thought you were finished. That's why. Well, go ahead.
I was saying that, you know, the thing is we have to we have to want to create something special. We have to want it. We have to want to say, hey, I'm going to do something that is so great. And actually, when Kevin came into the studio, and I heard the song, it took me about 2.5, 3 hours to get that song done. Yeah, that's to tell you how much it was, how much appeal it had to me in terms of and what we wanted to do. And my engineer, Cleve Scott, was there. He said, Adrian, we have a hit. Yes, I said yes. He said, that's it. And that's how that we had a vibe. And that's what I think we need to start thinking about and working together. Even the younger producers with new artists. I think one of the challenges we've been facing, and I had a bit of it too, was the absence of the knowledge about the business of music and how it works, and how to collaborate. I think a lot of our Caribbean people, especially St. Vincent, will always say partnership is a leaky ship, and that's a bad thing. Because if you can't work together, nothing could happen. If you look at a Rihanna, for example, who was a nobody, relative nobody, not known, out of Barbados, they go down and take Rihanna and make her into this massive mega hit. True. The richest woman in the world, no.
True.
And one of the things that earmarks her success is the fact that when she does her albums, she doesn't just, they have a writing camp for like 2 or 3 weeks. They bring tons of producers. So they have money going behind them. So, and then there's a team. And not that everybody's going to have that, but we have to start thinking like that to be able to create things. Yes, we can have spikes and do different things, but what we need to be able to get our music out there is to know that, yes, 20% of we have some great music in Zimbabwe that was unheard of, right? 20% of the success of any product right now, especially music, is the music. 80% is promotion. 80%. And if we have to recognize that and say, listen, we have to start teams that can do that, can find public relation teams that can help to do this. But you have to invest in this, because this is something that you have to really do. But right now, we have a prime opportunity because internationally, we have a level playing field. We have internet, we have DistroKid, we have TuneCo, we have CD Baby, we have iTunes, we have Spotify, we have everybody that's selling music. And you're getting cents to the dollar, you have YouTube. But still, if you get 1 million hits or 2 million, 10 million hits, and you start doing that, that means one, you can't get an income from streaming, but 2, you're being seen. And that means 3, you're starting to get performances and people start looking for you. And that's one of the successes. That's one of the reasons for success for Skinny Fabulous, for example, because he, instead of choosing to just go the normal route, went and signed up, I think, with Pyramid Entertainment in Barbados to do his PR and to do his management. And they took him wherever, and so that's, we can't think of ourselves in isolation as okay, I'm Adrian, I could do by myself. We have to just start thinking about a team and working together. And the whole aspect of working together must be prefaced by the fact that we have to understand the business of music and how to work together, how to share things, how to make splits, and how those kinds of things are very important. And if we don't get to that point, we will always be striving and wondering why we ain't get to the next point, because we have not seen ourselves as part of an international music industry. We are seeing ourselves as a Vincy Carnival experience. That can't be you under your music if you're a musician. You can't think that way. So that's my preach.
I'm Lively. I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come to you after on that, right?
Okay.
No,
that's all right.
Like CP can testify also that on this program, whenever we have artists, it's always the same. Well, we learn like an incredible amount of issues that within our music industry, and you echoed what everybody has been saying also,
Yes.
the proper management and the proper team with
Right.
you to go forward.
Yep.
And Lively also said too that the DJs sometimes they kind of stifle you, and go on to play other things. My question to you is, because from word on the street when I was there, is that Turn Me On was never a big hit at the carnival. In fact, I think he blew up outside of St. Vincent before.
Correct.
So if I have to play devil's advocate, then how do you justify
Well,
that?
it was popular, and people would what happened was that Vincentians were frowning and they'd say, "Hey, that ain't soca." You know, they couldn't understand. That ain't soca, but it was playing and people loving it. So they were liking it. They were comparing it to poor people's song, right, at the time, and then once we sent it to Trinidad and Barbados and those places, I started getting calls from Virgin Records, and from Sony Records, and from Atlantic Records right away. Okay, because apparently they heard something that they thought, because they go into these places to scout. All right, because Trinidad has been, and for argument's sake, Trinidad has been basically a mecca of carnival.
The mecca, yeah.
And so you find a lot of people going there, and so a lot of people still go there to looking for artists and fresh talent. And they heard Kevin and they said, wow, this is a package. We could work this. And we started getting the calls, but that is not to take away from the fact that we created a great product. So even if we had to use Trinidad as a mode to get it through, we were still able to create a great product that people had to look up to, and look and say, wow. Okay, I remember even Farmer Nappy saying a couple of years ago when in Carnival in St. Vincent, he said, if the Caribbean had followed what had happened with Kevin Little and what we did with his music, we would be much further now, right? He said that on stage in St. Vincent, okay? And it's a very true thing, because a lot of people were very upset that this was coming true and they were not a part of it. And they could have been a part of it because it was inclusive. Yeah. Because everybody was trying to claim this and claim that, this Trinidad is making raga groovy soca. We call it raga soca, and then Barbados saying they call it raga soca because they call their stuff, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with all of that. But let's create something that we can take out of the carnival product and make it an international product. Now, if I remember correctly, Marshall tried to do the high speed things with a company prior, and a record label, and they didn't accept that, So let's try to do that. There's a lot of stories behind this thing and a lot of things I could talk about, but there's too much for one program.
Don't worry. We'll revisit.
All right.
But
there's a lot of merit in making great music. There's a lot of merit in making music that you could listen back to and say, yeah, I felt good. I feel good. Even if it didn't reach to some place, get me. You can create that. If you could create it and think, boy, I could listen back to that in 10 years and feel good about it, it's better than creating something that could only last 1 year and can't reach past Beckwith shows. Yeah? Let's try to do that. And we could do so much. The other aspect of it is we need to start to include our Garifuna style music into our way of thinking, because it's still a part of us. It's a part of us. And I think that it is African in its own right, just like how we're using some of these Afro beats now to make our own things. We could do the same thing, but the fusions are always there. And right now, pop music is a fusion of everything in the world. That's what pop is. We can create Caribbean pop and call it Caribbean pop. It doesn't have to be soca. It doesn't have to be. It could be soca driven, or with a foundation, or raga, or reggae, or dancehall, or compa, or whatever. Caribbean fusion makes for us to have something that is always international, and people could say, yeah, I want some Caribbean fusion. I want some Caribbean pop. So then it becomes ours. Then you have creating a new stream of income for new people and new upcoming people who not necessarily want to be in a carnival experience or festival, but they want to do something Caribbean, and not everything that we want to do. There are many artists out there who don't want to be doing carnival, but they have no choice because there's no other festival and no other place for their music to be shown. So those are things that we have to as I said, I could talk all day.
Yeah, we'll have a feature on you one day.
Okay.
And I like what you said there because the Jamaican new dancehall now, which is trap dancehall, to me that's really like R&B hip hop kind of thing.
It is.
Just that they're sticking in pathway. That's not the real dancehall, but at least they have something that they're doing, and call it something. So I totally
and I'm
agree.
not advocating at any one point in time that we call soca, that we change the way we do soca. I think that Jamaica dropped the ball when they seem to have denied or ignored reggae, traditional reggae. All right, I think reggae. I remember hearing Shaggy talk about it. He's saying he and Sean Paul are still big artists in the world. Why is that? Why haven't there been any other persons coming forward to take their place? Okay, so something is wrong there because they still maintain the element of reggae in their music. Nobody's doing that now. Everybody trying to play trap and it's not working. It's not working.
The funny thing is, reggae is accepted way in Europe, Africa, all over, bigger than
wherever. And they're dropping the ball to make Tokyo and everybody, Japan, take up reggae. Huh? What happening there? Come on, we gotta think through this thing. Yeah. Anyway, it's not about me only.
Yeah, give me back. and to think it off, that's what Sip and I are trying to do. We try to, pull, see if we can get like a library of artists that, people can go and find out things about them and find out things about the culture and push the things, but sometimes it's hard to cooperate. So Lively, you mentioned, and you also mentioned that sometimes the DJs stifle. How difficult it is from an artist working, because you're based in New York, like our listeners know that you're based in New York. How difficult it is to push out your music?
Well, this is a stigma now. It has a stigma to it that you that's why I got second for Road March and second for Soca Monarch, because it was said that I live in New York where I make money. So, and even one guy came, I was doing an interview and a guy came and he cut me off and he said, I don't want to call him. He said, but I have foreigners. So I said to him, one of these days, about 2 years after I see the guy right in Brooklyn here, and he came to say, I said, okay, foreigner, come. And at the same time, another guy gonna beat him, I have to beg for him. No, man, don't do that. But this is the kind of thing, and then the DJs in St. Vincent, they will play all different music from all. But then you come from America and they want to charge you to prefer. I don't, that's one thing I would never do in my life. I already made the music for you to be a DJ, and you're gonna charge me, but you can't charge the reggae artists and all the other boom bye bye that you've been playing. You can't charge them, and you're not gonna. But I don't know. And like I said, if you're not a DJ from your village, don't count on him. You better go look for a different DJ friend because they say you can't preach gospel in your own village. And then I don't know, but the truth is, I think the young artists need to be encouraged to write better music, totally, and be more creative. Because it's like one style, and everybody want to jump on one rhythm down the road like a donkey going on the road, bagada. And when it's done, they jump on another one, and then that's where most of the time the songs doesn't have no title; they have a rhythm. So like, at this step on the rhythm, they know. At that step on the rhythm now.
Take another chapter.
Yes, another chapter. The song doesn't have a name. Only, he done with him. Live done with him. James done with him. Skinny done with him. That's all. It's always a rhythm now. Yeah, then that's where you see, and then I don't know. I always like to listen to a band. I like to sing with a band, but I can't get it now. I got to something. You got to learn to adapt. I have to adapt to the DJ with the wheel and come again and all them stuff. Yeah, but and I can't really knock them too much because time and season change. Yeah, we're in a different era.
True.
I saw a man in Union Island with the guitar running back. He said, "Boy, first time I got so much gigs, but I can't even play the thing them that I hear."
Exactly.
You know, one artist came on here and he said that he didn't know he had to pay the gate man. You know, the thing. But he comes back to what Adrian said too. You know, if you really have quality music, you know, so that's why I take my hats off to you guys when you win, whether you win first place or second place from foreign, because back home, like you say, there's this thing, and another artist said they told us straight up, look, I really can't play music, you know, because the station here works with these artists, you know.
Yeah.
and last year you came bad, so we can't play. So, you know, it's a kind of tricky, sticky situation.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing to get around.
So when you guys really get, you know, a first place or a second place or road march or Soca Monarch, man,
boy, you're way up there. You're way up there.
Tough for you because, like you say, they're basing their thing that, boy, you're in foreign, and you know, even if you don't make it, but they're not really counting the expenses that you did to put into your music, the expenses that you put in to go home and participate in making the thing happen. They're thinking that you come in and take the money, and really and truly, for a foreign artist to go home, it's not about the money.
You spend more money to go home than whatever they give to you.
The few weeks you're up there, you're gonna stay where you are and make more money, you know? Yeah. So, you know, just to contribute to the thing and making it happen, that's, I think.
And it was so fortunate to me that the every time I go home to perform on a stage, guess what? I'm with Black Sun. And I said, Jen, by the time I reach in there, it doesn't take me maybe 10 minutes of rehearsing. Because once I hear them guys got it, I know they got it. And I can't. When everybody go be, oh, go by the hand, come back here, so come back. No, boom, boom, boom. I say, Adrian, you got it? I say, yeah. I could see you on the stage. Because most of the time when I go on stage, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because sometimes I listen to some artists in the band room, and they be going with all these antics. Oh, no, go back there, because when I reach on stage, when they see the crowd, they forget. I said, listen to them wasting people's time. You can't just be yourself, because you're watching, looking at what one artist gonna do and what he's saying and listening for and looking for props and things. But when you reach, it's a total different thing. Yeah.
I remember a fella say he was going to bring on a horse and he wanted to do the song. Go in. I says, you have to do. I said, listen, guy, take my advice. You're going bun after the first verse. So he said, nah, you go, he's strong, you go in gym. I said, okay, man, don't worry. I said, let's go. When we reach on the stage, after the first verse, I see him do so. He can't move. Yes. You know, but it's experience. I mean, I had a great time you know, doing backstopping for Soca Monarch, because actually I started doing backstopping with Black Sun when Soca Monarch started with Benji, and I continued with Hot Sun, and I think one of the reasons that we always got most of the times got the job, was shared initially with Signal, was that we gave a measure of respect to the artists and the music, so that, you know, there was a degree of professionalism that came with performance, and the degree of professionalism came with the presentation that they were giving, because we recognize, hey, they're playing for money, we playing for money, we getting paid the same, you know. So we have to make sure that not only that, but as a show that is highlighted internationally, because a lot of people watch it internationally, that we had to make sure everything was great. You know, we set the stage for Trinidad and how they created their Soca Monarch at some times, you know. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And they started, their bands had to come up to par with us when they saw what we were doing. You know, when they heard this, they said they can't believe it. They couldn't believe it. And then, I mean, I had even one time, I remember I was playing on a show, and I was playing a Jamaican show, some reggae and stuff, guys. And we started to play, and they had to run out of their place to say, where does band come from? They couldn't believe. You know, we had the capacity in the Caribbean to do that, besides what Jamaica thought that they were the old musicians in the world. That's the whole thing. Well, I mean, there's lots of stories to talk about.
But
just to say that
it's good.
the thing that Lively spoke about with the not wanting to play our music because you're from you're living abroad, it didn't really start. It started a long time ago. Even when they used to have the All Star show that Straker used to do in the 90s, and when Beckett and Sosa and Scotch and those people used to come down there, they never wanted. That's what he had to do an All-Star show because they didn't want them to be a part of it. They always wanted to say, "Oh, them up there and they have making money," and then they couldn't see that there was a total Vincy experience, that you're trying to build something. So it's a little myopic view that we had, but it's a lot to do with the business of music and the absence of the knowledge from the general constituency of artists about how to make music. Even the young ones in schools that need to learn how to create and to work together and how to create a business contract to work with each other. A lot of little things that could be done and changed. Anyway, go back to Lively. Sorry.
No man, I set it up for the both of us.
Don't worry, man. Adrian,
I'm not a selfish person because
but
I come here and set it up for myself.
Adrian, we're gonna have to feature you with all the history that you have there. We're gonna have to feature you another time also too because we want to go down deep back in the history of it, and find out, where we're going wrong, what we're doing wrong, and stuff like that,
That would be great.
So Lively, when you touch, let me touch drinking. When you made that tune, what happened? How you made it? What made you get into that tune? With drinking.
That drinking tune was I went home for a carnival, and then we were up in the village, up in Chapman's, out on an area we call Crossroad. So my partner keep telling me, "Boy, Lively, buy half bottle of strong rum, buy half bottle of Sting, and go chase some with the beer, with the heroin." So he keep telling me that. He said, "From you do that, you don't have to buy nothing else for nobody. We go just sit down and chill and we go drink that all evening." So I was like, he told me that like 3 times because you come from America, you keep buying different things. He said, "Man, me tell you already for doing that." I said, "Wait, boy, that ain't tune." All right, then just put it. And that's tune again just came like 1 to 3 to me. I said, "Boy, that's a tune." Yeah. I said, "Next day you go hear it, okay?" And so it was done right there.
The first time I heard it was from my friends, I didn't hear the tune, I just hear they say, we're drinking. So what kind of song that?
Everybody keep asking me, "Who's the other man?"
I thought it was a slang the man. I thought it was a slang the man they make up,
No, man.
I was the part of that tune. But...
Yeah, man. So when they start singing with drinking, I'm like, what kind of slang that thing? And then I actually heard the actual tune, and then I think it's at a picnic too, that I really see so a bunch of guys just pulling each other and say, "We drinking."
Yeah, man, it's a nice tune for when you're having a nice little drink at festival, festival tune. So yeah, but I always give God thanks for everything that that I go through in life. So most of it I learn, most of it I enjoy because I ain't dead yet. And I still got more. I thank God because I got more to go. So right now I'm trying to do a tune here with Adrian, trying to finish up a tune for this year. Really, I wasn't gonna do nothing as such, but I sometimes they say move with the spirit, because now the coronavirus kind of ease aside, I could slip in. So I'm taking the opportunity right now.
I hope when you finish, you link me or link CP and
yeah.
We could
review
it as well. We could review it as well. What you think. So and then when we're drinking and then you hit back with the old woman song. Yeah. But I like the way you pull like a Beckett, you talk, you sing it slack, but it's not really slack. It's good for
A woman tell me, "You say, oh God, that damn boy, they're rude, and she don't know me singing song at the market too, man. He said, "But hey, what you say there? But you want poor wine in an old bottle." And I started up right. Boy, me and my partner laugh. So when they treat me in he said that damn boy he win. Yeah, and that tune, they tell you the gospel tune. I went into the studio, it was Parry Jack's studio. Went into the studio. I was doing like 3 songs, I think. That song was never on my mind, to say, well, it's gonna be a hit or whatever, people are gonna accept. It's after people start accepting, boy, that tune, I had something with fire and some other thing going on the road. Then now I had to go really long that tune. So everybody keep telling me, boy, that tune's sweet, boy. I love it. And they start calling me old battle and all kind of stuff. So I said, okay, people gravitate to. That's why I tell these young artists, you might be in the studio, you'll be going on the road with one tune. That's not the tune for the people. Wait until the people respond to the tune and your feedback. When you get the feedback, you can say, okay, then.
And I've heard too many stories like that. Guys say, like, this wasn't the tune I was supposed to do. And then this is the tune that, and you said it be all around that sometimes in your head that's the tune.
That's the tune in your head. That's the tune.
Yeah, but that's not the tune for the people.
When the people receive it, they say no. It's that tune nobody we want.
And I used to manage a guy like that too. He always writes for himself, and I go like, bring it to me and let me make the changes, because what you want to, you only singing what you want to hear. But at the end of the day, it's about the people, so the people can gravitate towards you.
And that's one good thing. Yeah. If you could accept critics, whether good or bad.
Well, you have to.
Some of them is real bad, some is good. But once you could, you got to accept all of them and put them. They say take sense out of nonsense. Pick sense out of nonsense. Know who just want to pull you down and who want to tell you something good and who want to encourage you. And you got to separate them. Say, boy, you've been telling me this and the one over there been telling me this. So then you got to know exactly who to listen to and what direction. Sometimes you got to look for the direction in the critics.
True. And I like you. I like you for that, Lively, because like you tell me, we follow you on social media most of the life. And we're not gonna get into those. We're not gonna get into those old kind of things. But no man. I like the plain. You want to come out and talk things plain.
Man.
And I'll you know what I'm talking about. I take my hats off to you the other day when I don't really want to get into the thing when and then you were one of the first man on the block, giving him a send off, and I say, you know what, I respect Lively for that, because like more time people go through things and stuff like that, and then you go through it because of the emotion in which you're going through it, and then you don't really mean it, but you just feel like hey, this is what happened, you just didn't like the what do you call it, the way in which things were done. But anyways, we're not gonna get into the thing there. So
because you see, sometimes I speak these things, sometimes it might be in a kicksy way, but it's just so, and you know what, most of the times I like to go back to my colloquial language, because some people that isn't in North America, Canada, and blah, 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 and around, they pretend that they never kind of like they want to forget their culture.
True.
So sometimes that's when it's so nice me just go over, bap, and I join, and I come back again. But you gotta be able to be versatile and to be like a lot of people. Oh, like people, how you does the Facebook? Blah, 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 blah. I say because I'm fluent with my words, and I think before I talk, and I don't stick to one. I don't try to be American. I don't try to be Canadian. I don't try to be British. I be Vincy in America because I'm in both places.
Right.
So when I have to say something Vincy way, that Vincy people will understand me, then
Well, I like Colin. Let me just say this before Sip comes in, right? Sometimes when you go home, right, you can't really, you want to talk, you want to present yourself, like a foreigner.
Yeah.
But sometimes you with your brethren, you don't have time to really talk. You have to just fit in and talk.
You gotta speak. You gotta talk their language.
Yeah, and you don't want nobody to say. I don't want nobody to say, "Where is it? Where is it?" No, you just want to get on with it, So.
And as much as we think, a lot of the folks that I hang out with, they can't think too much. So you got to speak their language. That's how they're gonna understand you. Exactly. You go down there, try to use big words and blah, blah. But trust me, if I always tell people, if I miss them kind of boys, I ain't going back home.
True. That's why Skylarking with Khalid is getting so much attention. I see you even share him on your page too. yeah, man. So
I want to make a few points before I really get into again. On Vincy Internet Radio, you just gotta send your music to me. I do a program every Thursday from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. where I play only Vincentian music. The only thing, I can't get enough Vincentian music. Okay. I can't get enough.
Okay, we could send you plenty, man. Is it? We are near.
That's what I want. And on Saturdays, from 1 o'clock, I play only Vincy music. If it comes a lot of music, I'll be playing Vincy music only on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I have a good passion for Vincy music, but the problem is I cannot get enough. Yeah. Once I can get them, 90% of my station will be strictly Vincy music.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, and another thing, Adrian, you were talking a lot about different type of music. I'll tell you one thing I noticed with this station. Between 5 a.m. and 10, which is basically, even from midnight, I have a lot of listeners from Europe.
Right.
They from midnight to about 10, I have a lot more European listeners than say any other listeners across the world. I'm very popular in Europe.
Okay, wow. Great.
Sometimes people call me from Europe just to get interviews.
Oh, wow.
But I'm trying to interview West Indian and they're running away.
Yeah.
That's great.
So what I'm trying to do now, I'm kind of catering our music. Although reggae is good, I still have to play reggae. What I'm trying to do is to blend Vincentian music and more Caribbean music, especially the raga soca type, seem to take off a lot in Europe. So what I'm trying to do is to blend it. So to even though they don't understand, another reggae might come, so they're going to stick around.
Yeah.
So right. I need a lot more music to play. So if you guys can send me,
I'm going to promise you something. I'm going to send you my catalog.
That'll be great.
And all I've done for the last 7-8 years. So that should give you at least a couple hundred, 200, 300 songs.
Now once I get Vincentian music and Caribbean, this is my main aim, because one of the things I noticed, there's hardly any station or hardly any way that Caribbean people could come and say, well, okay, this is a voice. What I'm trying to do here is make a voice for West Indian artists. Closer to Carnival, I think by next week, I'll be making a list of artists who come on the station before, closer to Carnival, and just put your pen on paper. Remember, you have one of those spots.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We definitely want to go back in the history of the music, and I definitely want to push Vincentian as much as possible, especially Vincentian artists.
So
great. With that being said, that's my point. And now I start with Adrian again.
Okay.
In your days of say music, when you start doing arrangement for artists, what some of the artists you figure that really make Adrian take off as an arranger?
Well, there was Black Sun, because I started with Black Sun. I did it was Johnny Rebel, there's Dennis Bowman. Then there was Fireman Hooper, then Madzart, then Bomani, then Chanel McKenzie, then Luther, James E. P, Kevin Little. I mean, I could name, we just naming names as we come along. This Skinny Fabulous. I mean, I remember days when I was abroad performing. I used to give Alex Barnell, Kubiyashi, and Skinny Fabulous my key to my studio to use. All right. That was because I saw music, I saw it an all-inclusive thing, trying to make that happen. But I've worked those people, the DJ 20s, the Poser, Gideon James for sure, good off touch, Icon, I mean, Fire and Press, Winston Soso, Beckett, I mean, I did work with most of all of those persons, all of those people already. And to me, each one of them shared a part of my growth and my inspiration, because I always wanted to work with them, and you know, I did get to do that, and continue to do that now. You know, so I mean, to say that I have one person that would have inspired me would not be a fair thing. I've had so many, as well as, and very importantly, my cousin Tony Bailey from Crossfire, who plays the guitar, as my cousin. He's a Vincentian, and we have been collaborating on many occasions and writing songs and producing songs for persons in Barbados and Kitts, up the islands, St. Vincent as well. And so, you know, so those are some of my collaborators, possible, you know, persons. Actually, the person who, we know, we hear of Static, the guy in Trinidad, guy who does a lot of, he's a Vincy, but he came from Union Island, lives in Trinidad now, but he really pretty much, I sort of fostered him into engineering and working in the studio and stuff like that. And you know, I feel proud that I see a lot of these people have, you know, gotten to a point where they have come into their own and doing things. I feel good about that, you know. So I could say my inspiration is when I see success, and I've seen success in most of all of those people that I spoke about.
Yeah, my next question to you would have been the Barbadian Crossfire. I know you had somebody, I don't know if it was your brother, but I know you had somebody there that that played.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Rebel, Crossfire. That's my writing cousin. Doesn't matter what, I mean, that right now, even during the COVID time, we were writing songs, you know, and creating music. I'm actually also doing some stuff with a lady, Ariane Barnwell, in St. Vincent now. We have a mini production company called AB Squared, and we're doing more crossover, more international style music. And we have been getting reasonable success. So I'll start sending those tracks for you too. It's not necessarily soca and that kind of stuff, but it's Caribbean driven by the fact it's made by Caribbean people. You know, so to me, that's one option for persons who really don't like festivals like Carnival and want to do something different. And I think that's important for us to move forward as music, in a music industry that we call St. Vincent.
That's what I'm looking forward to, because I'm really want to push this Caribbean Vincy culture.
Right.
And I want Vincy Internet Radio to be a voice, you know,
right.
Lively, agent. Anytime you have something and you want to push it out, don't be afraid. You either contact me or you contact Moulton. And even though it's a 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we welcome things like that. You know, if you guys have somebody that you say, well, okay, I would like you to feature this person on your program. Once you can run the contacts and the person agree, then they can come on the program.
Okay.
That's
good.
I look at each one, push one.
Right.
No, when you have somebody, you say, boy, this is a good guy. You get in touch with me, you get in touch with Moulton and say, I would like you to feature this person on your program. You know, we run all the things, everything set up, and then we're ready to go.
And I'm going to put you on the spot right now, because there's a guy, he's from Guatemala, but he's Garifuna. And you know, the Garifuna see St. Vincent as their motherland, right? He is into music up here, and he does a lot of productions and stuff. And I really think that would be something for him to, you know, to at least be a part of something like this, you know, and to be interviewed by you guys, and he would send us some of his music so you could hear it. And you could get more involved in that aspect of our cultural history too. I would really love to hear that.
You made this setup, man, and just let's
I can do that right now.
And see, don't cut you off. Because we also did a feature on Garifuna with St. Vincent. That one guy,
That's
one guy
good.
was giving us the history of and the connection also with the Garifuna and the Belizean. So that's a good one too as well.
Yeah, it's really great. Let me just write it down my things so I don't forget, because I have so much things going on.
But don't worry, we can do it. I added you to the Facebook now, so
okay. Okay, good.
I'm following you on IG, so we could always fix it after.
Yes.
Thanks.
You just make the connection and you just we give you your date and man, and we go from there.
Okay.
But
Sounds good.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for push. But sometimes I tell you, Adrian, my partner doesn't like when I say this, but I have to say it now. I get more people from outside the Caribbean who call me. Okay, this program was only supposed to be strictly Vincy, no other thing. And this program was supposed to be only on Saturdays. I get so many calls from people in Europe, Italy. You wouldn't believe it. Even different countries, I wonder, how do they get in touch with Vincy on the radio? But they always send me invitation. They want to do an interview.
Oh, wow.
So instead of Saturdays now, we do the program Saturdays and Sundays. We might not get everybody every weekend to fill the spots, but our program run from Saturday to Saturday and Sunday. So that's still somewhere along the line we are expanding.
You're doing something right.
Yeah, something good is coming out of it.
You're doing something right. And that's a great thing.
And I like the direction where you're going. You're putting it out there, past the Caribbean. Yes. You got a kind of audience. If you got a kind of audience,
you didn't want to go outside the Caribbean.
yeah. Well, you could make the music in the Caribbean, but you need to. It's like the hurricane. Like when it's suffer bluff in Vincy, go Barbados.
Tell me the truth. I only wanted to Vincent, but thanks to my my co-host there, he's the one who okay, we can't get these guys. Let's go for the other guys who trying to get.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah. What you got to do, you know.
It's a great thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing though. And that's it's a kind of, I'm doing a beat right now. It's kind of, I call it a Euro soca, but people want me to change it. But that's my kind of feel, because we need to be more creative in what we're doing. You can't just sit down. And you know the only thing I hate about this music business is that we as Vincent and we sit down and we wait until we hear beat come from Trinidad and we're going to start and we're going to do it. And when they change, we're going to change after them. And let's be in front again. Trinidadian used to come in by the boatload to come listen, Vincy. As Marshall said, he just comes in just to listen. And he go back and he write it over.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's true. I heard him say that. Say he does just come to just listen to what we got to our soca. And when he go home, we just write over something different, and stretch it out a little bit longer. And then we come behind and we stretch it out after him. And we ain't getting nowhere, but they're gone.
They take our thing, carry it down, they make up.
Yeah.
And then we try to take from them when we have.
Yeah, we come back.
We coming from.
Well, but I wish we could be more creative in our writing and our producing. Yeah. Because then Adrian, they hate producing, but I just try to coach them too.
That's cool.
Me myself, I always try to be different. I don't know. I don't know if I was born that way or what.
But you mentioned Vincent and the Grenadines. We have some musician who was very good at the brass section era.
Yeah.
We send musician even to Antiguas and those kind of places.
Yes.
We don't
see got talented people, but we just, I don't know. We just too lay back and waiting on other people to invent. Let's start invent our own stuff, man. And we got the tools. It's not like you have to go in a big band room where you have to go do it tonight, and if you're not so good, you go back tomorrow and everybody have to come again. Right. You got technology to do this. You sit down behind a keyboard and a computer, and you got a wall of music in front of you.
All right, again, in case you're listening to us, we're talking to Soca Drink Man Lively and maestro producer Adrian Bailey.
Bailey.
It's a big name. That's a big name to live up to.
we do this that. So Lively, what's new now for you for 2022?
Well, I'm coming with something, a new drinking song with a old drinking song with a new beat. Now, man, it's a total different flavor of I'm trying to create a rhythm. I call it Euro soca, but some people tell, oh, why are you going to call it Euro? But it's already soca, only the Caribbean has soca. So therefore, I'm just trying to be creative this year. I got a lot of soccas in Adrian got a lot in the archives for me here, just put down. But sometimes I'm a kind of person, I've been led by a spirit. And if my spirit tell me, do this, I just do. If you say do it and put it aside, I put it for ask Adrian got some songs there for years and I ain't touching them. When you come into the finishing this, it's pretty rich yet. But sometimes you could just follow your mind, and you know it works out 100% of the time. It works out when you just follow your mind. Yeah, so I'm just trying something new this year.
The European soca is good. The idea of European soca is good, you know, because like Sip said, we have the European audience.
Yeah. You try to give it a flavor because the thing is that when I'm listening music, I don't listen just soca. I listen reggae. I listen hip. You got to listen. If you're into music, you got to listen every and any type of music. Even though I don't really so like up rap, I still listen to it. And now my son telling me, Dad, I got a tune. This guy never come to my studio now. I said, Prince, come here. Come look. No. Next thing the guy tell me that you know my name is Speedy. I said, what is Speedy? He said, I got a rap tune you wanna listen to. And the guy never hung out note around me, but they listen on the lawn and they catch on from here. So if you're doing something good, then yeah.
Right, music in the blood.
I told him I support him in anything he do, but once it's something good, so
true.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with rap music, you know, as long as
no, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, like I have.
It's not my flavor.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean I'm gonna knock it.
Yeah, I also have a nephew.
Yeah.
I also have a nephew in St. Vincent. Yeah, this man rap man, you think he's American, but I'm trying to tell him to clean up his contents, and I can, you know, try to get in places, you know, because sometimes that's what the young artists they need to recognize.
They need to have some guidance. Sometimes they don't have no guidance. They get a little thing and they could sing and they gone with it. The same group of people, just like them, they ain't got no knowledge of what's going on there, and they, you know what I mean?
True.
But if they got somebody who could guide them, then I think we go with.
I don't care what you sing when you're on stage. But if you want your music to go forward, you have to keep it clean. How is the radio station going to play your music?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So go on stage, and if you want to let out your dirty,
you could always make two versions, like this tune here. This tune that I'm making right now is two different versions. I'm gonna make. I make one for the radio and one for
performance. Yeah,
one for dance, one for the club. Because when you got the under your two like you want to hear the radio thing, you want.
True. And Adrian, so what's for you? We know you have a studio in New York. You want to just tell people, just advertise your studio, man, and say what you do.
Okay. My studio, my studio is an 888 East New York Avenue in Brooklyn. I could do recordings of live bands and stuff like that. I do gospel, reggae, I do everything. All right. The different styles of music. I currently work with persons in Toronto, Montreal, all over actually. I'm able to, there are lots of, if it's not me, I normally do mixing and mastering, engineering, vocal production, persons wanting to do a recording of vocals. I can do that. I do some coaching also, because I think a lot of people need coaching as they go along. So I do some coaching, and I think because of the coaching, I get more returning clients because they're getting something out of it.
True.
And I believe that's as a producer and somebody who's experienced in doing it, that I have that I should be offering that. As we have to give back. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the ways I give back. Currently I'm working on some gospel tracks for actually somebody in Ottawa, and an artist in Ottawa, actually a duo, as well as some another song, a song that's with some international appeal, which should be coming out pretty soon, for some guys in Boston. That's I love this song. So let's see how it works. Let's see what happens. I'll share it with you guys.
We can feature them too. Don't worry, we can feature them.
Yeah, I'll definitely send it to you guys right away, so you can start pushing this, because I think it has an international appeal, and when one of the guys did some the recording in Boston of the vocals, and when the studio guy heard it, he was like, wow. He was kind of, and this is a non-black guy. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, so, we have a non-black country singer from London.
Right, exactly.
So don't worry.
Exactly.
I just cut in here.
Yeah.
I think it's about the third time she came on to Vincy Internet Radio. What she wants us to do is she want to fuse our music into her music. So we already working on that with her, and I can tell you, it doesn't matter where she go, what she does, she always keep Vincy Internet Radio alive.
Oh, wow.
Of what I do. And she's 16 years old.
Oh wow, that's great.
She had 3 songs released and 2 shot up to #1 in no time. Her name, wow. you can look her up, Olivia Lynn. Just look at she's a country pop singer, and she wants us to help her to fuse Caribbean music along with her music, and that's what we're working on right now. So
in fact, she has a concert in New York. Is it this month or next
June
month?
17th. She have a concert in New York on June 17th.
Okay, I'll check her out. June 17th. That should be here, yes. Nice. That's great to hear, though.
Yeah, so that's some of the people we're working with from Vincy Internet Radio. I mean, once we can get that fusion going, I know we can take off somewhere along the line, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to hold Caribbean music with other people.
Put in contact with me. I'm the fusion king. Sorry, I should say that.
You'll be fused.
That's no problem. I'll send them your information.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great.
Yeah,
you know, I've been doing some stuff with some rap guys in Manhattan now, so I've been into everything. So I've been into because music is music for me. I could do whatever what is there. I could do.
Yeah,
and if I can't do it, I get more musicians to come in and do what I have to do. You know, to make it right.
Yeah, because she have a good managerial team, and the managerial team always keep me up to date with whatever she's doing. So tonight, I'll send her manager a note.
Okay, that'll be great.
That's good.
That'll be great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so Adrian, so just tell the people how they can contact you or follow you on social media.
Oh boy. Okay, I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, WhatsApp. Where else? You can contact me. I have a website also, Sky Studios. I can't remember at skystudios.com, skystudios.limited.com, and you can contact me at my number 917-853-8441 or magmamusic@gmail.com, magmamusic@gmail.com. Anytime, just give me a holler.
And on the social media, you can search for Adrian Bailey.
Adrian Bailey and Instagram and stuff.
Yeah. And Lively. What people who want to follow you and how they can get in touch with you?
Well, first let me say, first and foremost, if you want to follow me, check me early in the morning on Facebook. Go to it. My name is Lively Edison. You could add me as a friend, Lively Edison. Okay? And my number is 646-836-4788. You can follow me on YouTube. And I just started to get into the Instagram stuff. And then after I release, well, I'm gonna set up a platform for some managerial stuff and so to get my music published the right way out there, because the truth is that I never had time to sit down and do that kind of stuff because it's time consuming, and in America you keep going. So this year, after this year, well, I already have some somebody in doing it for me, because like Adrian said, you got to share it. You got to share the wealth. You can't do it for yourself, because when I'm at work, I can't be doing the stuff that I'm supposed to get done on time. And not because I was late today, but I like to be a timely person. But the truth is, I'm gonna be on all those the platforms that I could get set up. So I have a young guy doing it for me. So I know those young guys are sharp. They bring us sharp. An old man like me, you know. When I type one letter, they don't already go to 5. So yeah. But I'll be out there. I'm hopefully by April I'll be releasing this song. So you guys could be on the #1 list. So
yeah. Listen, we always like to have our guests come back and update and stuff like that. But listen, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I enjoyed every moment of it. I just wish that, could you imagine, we went 2 hours already? So I just well, almost 2 hours. We were waiting for you 2 hours.
yeah.
But we definitely have to touch back base. Lively and Adrian, we definitely have to touch back base very, very soon again, because we need to dig deeper down into the music and educate people and inform people of a lot of stuff. And like Lively just said too, sometimes things are not done the right way in terms of publishing and stuff like that. And Adrian, your testimony of what proper publishing the reward you can get from proper publishing. So all in all, again, I'm gonna Sip is gonna have the last word, but feel free, and again, Lively, continue to make good music, man, and Adrian, again, you're the maestro, so
I do what I can do.
Yeah, just before you pass out the torch, just make sure you teach some of them young youth how to
I try.
All right. So,
Before you guys go, I wanna say thanks to you guys for, because the truth is, you guys just barely catch me on Instagram, because that's a place I truly never went for how many years.
But that's what I'm wondering, because the message was since I think November, and I'm wondering
I just saw it.
It's since November. November.
Just pop out to me like that. I said, what's that?
Oh, it's since November. So that's why I was telling CP, but these artists don't want to reply.
If it was on Facebook, then you'd have got my attention quick. But normally I don't go on Instagram, but I just decided to start seeing, check out Instagram and get a feel of being on top of it and see what it's like. And I saw this message come out at me. I was like, then after like 2 days after, a guy from what's his name again? From Doggy Radio. He told me I have to give him an interview again. I was like, what? Something like he's gonna go on with me.
Listen, at Destiny, nothing happens before time, because
I'm telling you. I don't know.
You get to say
maybe I'm gonna take off with wings of an eagle. Who knows? Yeah, man. So again, I want to say thanks to you guys for giving me this great interview. Long time I ain't chat with somebody like this for so long.
Yeah, man, you need that, and then it's gonna be. Don't worry, we're gonna edit it up for YouTube so you can go back and look at it, and people.
Okay, great.
And thank you very much for this talk. I think it's important that people start knowing our history, and thank you for sharing what I have done over the years. And I'm a kind of a quiet person. I don't really do much. I'm always in the studio and I can do my work. My work speaks for itself. But
I know you're a shy person from the days of Aquatic Club. So
I know that, right?
If anybody want to know anything about you, they can ask me from the days of Aquatic Club. Exactly. I know you're a shy person, and you always keep within your boundaries. And this evening you came out a little bit more. I was surprised that you.
well, Lively is here, so
I'm available. I think some people kind of think I'm reserved and stuff, so they don't want to think. But I will speak when I have to, and I think it's time to speak. I think it's time to speak.
Yeah, but make sure mark it on the calendar. Closer to Carnival, you will be back on Vincy Internet Radio. We want to
just contact me and we're good to go.
History, man. The history is the most important thing that we need to educate our young people about the history of St. Vincent.
For real.
That's
definitely
it. Lively. Once again, man. Anytime you wanna you have anything to release, you want to come to Vincy Internet Radio? Even though it's for 5 minutes, man, just let us know. You don't even have to let me know. I might be the hard of fine. You find more chat.
Okay.
Just let him. We walk hand in hand.
Yeah. It has to be done, man. Otherwise, nobody get anywhere. We won't get. Yeah. We'll just talk, and nobody will get anywhere. If you want to be selfish, and because a lot of people is like that, you know. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of I noticed there's a lot of artists and people in general, producers and well, not a producer, promoters. They want to keep everything in one corner, one way all the time. But then when you see you make it now, they will wonder, you leave them out. But let's start mix and mingle, man. Yeah. Don't just set on one set of artists. Give some. You know good if it feels to be a young artist and come out here. Boy, we read your song by radio yesterday. You know, the first time I heard somebody tell me, boy, your song the beating down in this radio. My head swell big so. You know that kind of expression. My head swell big so. Yeah, man.
See, that's why we half an hour before the interview. It always belongs to that artist. Just their music, just play half an hour, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it was a pleasure, man.
Once again, thanks a lot, and don't be afraid. Link us up anytime on Vincy Internet Radio. Thanks for the company, and I'll see you sometime soon.